Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome to my video. Sorry I've been inactive for a little bit. I've been crazy busy, but I finally have enough time to edit a video. So here I am. I'm stoked to do this one because today I'm going to be showing you guys how I edit my sunset photos. This photo was taken about 6 or 7 months ago when I was in Chicago. I totally forgot that I had it sitting in my hard drive, so I was super stoked once I found it. Alright, so I'm just going to show you my before and after, just to show you what we're working with here. So here is the before, and then here is the after. So we're going to jump right in. I'm going to hit reset. Just so you know, we are in Adobe Lightroom. So I'm going to hit reset down here. Alright, so the first thing I want to do is head over to the basics tab. I'm going to adjust my temperature to make it more warm because it is a little cold right now. So I'm going to bring this up quite a bit. I'm going to say around, a little too much. Alright, so a little over 11,000 is good. And then I'm going to bring the tint down to about -9. That's fine. And then, let me see if I mess with the exposure. Yeah, I guess it doesn't really matter. I'll just keep it at 0.10. I'm going to skip the contrast. I'm going to bring the highlights all the way down to bring back some of the detail in the sky. Then for the shadows, bring those all the way up. And then for the whites, I'm going to bring those up. Let's see, let's do 50. And then the blacks, I'm going to bring those up as well. Let's see, about 79. That looks good. And then clarity, I'm going to bring this down to make it a little smoother, as you can see. If I bring it up, it's like a lot of detail, but I don't want a lot of detail now because we're going to bring some of the detail back later. So I'm going to bring it down, just give it that smooth look to it. And I'm going to bring this vibrance down quite a bit to about we'll do -44, that's fine. And then the tone curve, if you watch my videos, you know I always stick with the same tone curve. So that's the fade S curve. I'm sorry, not the fade S curve, the moody S curve. Apologize. Alright, so we got the S here, and if you head over to the reds, greens, and the blues, they're all pretty similar. And now the HSL sliders, we're not doing too much here because we're going to do a lot of this stuff later when we go to the calibration section. So for the hues, I'm going to bring the oranges a little bit more on the red side. Let's see, -8. And then the yellows, I'm going to bring those down more towards the orange side, -57. That's all we have to do for the hues. So we're going to head over to the saturations. The oranges, I'm going to bring these up about 18. And the yellows, I'm bringing these down -65. And then everything else, I'm going to bring all the way down. I usually stick with the same colors in all my pictures. So then for the luminance, the only thing I'm going to do here is bring up the blues, just because this part right here, if you had it in the center, it's a little gray. I want it more white, so I'm going to bring up the luminance to brighten it up a bit. And then the split toning, we're going to mess with the highlights and the shadows. So for the highlights, I'm going to bring it more around the yellow side to give it some more warmth into the photo. Let's go to 56. And the saturation I'm going to bring up around 17. And then for the shadows, I'm going to make them a little colder. So I'm going to bring this up to the blue side. And then bring the saturation up on this as well. Alright. So then for detail, will never hurt to sharpen a little bit. Maybe a little bit of noise reduction as well. Lens correction, always. Always. Alright, and then I'm not going to miss the transform just because it looks like it's already pretty straight already. And then for the effects, add some vignette. I'm going to, let's see, maybe 28 is good. And then next will be the calibration. This is where some of the magic happens. So I'm going to bring the shadows down towards the green side. And then for the red primary, I'm going to bring the hue towards the orange. around 30. We'll do 31. And then the saturation, I'm going to bring this down. Let's do -60. And the greens, we're bringing these up. We'll do 30. And the saturation, I'm going to bring up as well. About 75. And I do want to apologize if you do hear a dog barking in the background. I have a puppy. He's outside. He barks at everything. So I do want to apologize in advance. Alright, so then the blue primary, we're going to make this down. As you can see, it adds more warmth to the photo. We'll do -41, and then we're going to saturation down. We'll do -38. Alright, so now that we're done with that, we're going to add some radial filters, graduated filters, and use a little bit of the adjustment brush. So the first thing I'm going to do, head over to radial filter right here. And I want to make the sun pop out a little bit more. So I'm going to bring that right over the sun. And then, so what I want to do, make it warm right there. So I'm going to bring the temperature up. Bring it to 61. And then to make it bright, I always go over to the dehaze. And I bring that down. It makes it brighter, as you can see. Looks like the sun is popping out. Alright. So then what I want to fix here, because I noticed that it does make this building right here really orange. So what I'm going to do, if you head over to brush, while you have this selected, head over to brush, hit erase. And what I do, like to hit O on the keyboard. So everything that it is making brighter and more orange is in red. So I want to erase that building. I really don't want that building to be affected by it, because then it stands out quite a bit. Alright, so then we're done with that. So next thing I want to do is add a graduated filter. Make this for the sky. I like to drag this down and have it ease into the sky. Alright, so then what we're going to do with this, we're going to bring back some more detail into the sky. So I'm going to hit O on the keyboard to get rid of the red so I can see what we're working with. I'm going to bring the highlights all the way down. As you can see, it gives it more detail in the sky, gives a little bit more color. And then the same thing that we did with this building, I'm going to hit O on the keyboard, go over to brush, erase, make this a little bigger. So I'm going to erase these buildings right here, because I want to keep those how they are. Alright, so then after that, we're going to make another graduated filter, this time for the bottom section. Once again, extend it out a little bit. It's a little crooked, so let me fix that. There we go. I don't want it that cold. We're making it colder, but not that cold. So I'm going to bring it down to about -7, and I'm going to bring up the shadows, because it looks a little dark. So I'm going to bring up the shadows all the way. Alright, so click off of that. I want to fix up these clouds. There's a lot of contrast on them. So I'm going to head over to the adjustment brush. I'm going to select these dark parts that I want to fix. Once again, if you want to hit O on the keyboard, see what you're working with. So I'm going to bring the contrast down to brighten it up. -38 looks good. I don't want to do it too much. Do another adjustment brush. This time for this building again, I noticed that it looks still a little bit too warm. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to select that building. I'm going to make it colder. So I'm going to bring the temperature down, -24. Once again, just so it's not too distracting from the main part of the image. Alright, then the last thing, we're going to do one more adjustment brush. This time for these buildings here in the center. I want to make them more smooth and pop out. So once I have them selected, I'm going to bring up the shadows. Do about 77. Now I'm going to bring the clarity down. I use this quite a bit to make the buildings more smooth. So I'm going to bring the clarity down just a tad to about -19. Alright, so that is it. So I'll show you the before, and then here is the after. Alright guys, well thank you for watching. Once again, I do apologize for being inactive. I promise to be making more videos. I do want to let everyone know I do have a preset pack available. It is 50% off for a limited time. I will link it down in the description. If you want to go check it out, I would appreciate it. I do have before and after sliders on my website so you can see what they look like. And please do me a favor, like and comment this video if you enjoyed it, and subscribe if you aren't already so you don't miss out on videos like this in the future. Until next time, bye.